thought of never stepping on an NFL field was all the motivation I needed to not only get back, but to be even a better.
Today, from MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, it's Week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. The New York Giants taking on the Washington football team.
We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Washington football team and the New York Giants. With my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we have arrived at another new season. I had a little more pep in my step this morning. I know you did as well. Here we go.
Yeah, when you went out for your 5-mile jog, you were flying. You did it in record time because you were psyched up about this game. But let's be frank about it. No more radio shows, no more podcasts, no more just predicting what's going to happen. Now we get to see it on the field.
Room to run at the 50. Still going inside the 30. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. And that right there is how you silence the home crowd.
All week long in preparation, visiting teams talk about it. Okay, we've got to start fast. We've got to take the crowd out of it, as you just talked about there. We've got to control the ball early. And in this case, forget fast start. This is a blazing start. What they've talked about all week is their offensive unit doing that. Not necessarily the guys returning the opening kickoff, but believe me, they'll take this.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. Taken about 7 yards deep. And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And they'll be led out by their third-year quarterback. They'll run for the first time with Saquon Barkley. And they are not going to let him turn the corner. Some serious pressure right out of the gate. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And the Washington pressure gets to him, and he will go down. Chase Young in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on third. And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley.
And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. A gain of 4, not enough, and it looks like punt time on their opening drive as it's 4th down.
On is the punter Hawk as he gets this one away.
Fielded at the 20. A great return there of 22 yards.
So out comes the Washington offense onto the field.
And a look here at their go-to guy under center. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Slings this deep from McLaurin. And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. Terry McLaurin, 41 yards. And Washington is able to stretch their lead.
Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football. And out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Fielded near the back of the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. They went 3 and out on their first drive of the new season. Not an ideal beginning as they start drive number 2, 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Finds his tight end Ingram.
The pass.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Throwing right, and that's complete.
And he will have a Giants 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the 1st. They'll set up a throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Washington defense.
They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Working with a 2nd and 4.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And does Washington have it? They do.
Taking it right down Broadway. And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. So this defense clicking early in the year. Week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
Possession of the football going back over to the Giants.
And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And does Washington have it? They do.
Fumble on the play.
I think they're going to have to make some decisions here. That's his second fumble here in the first quarter. And what I mean by that is, do you have the confidence to stay with him, or are you going to have to make a change and maybe go to someone else?
And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown.
Touchdown, Washington.
Scampering home from 19 yards out.
And Washington going to add on to their lead.
The kicker on for the extra point.
Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, they're just stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Ready to roll for the second quarter from MetLife Stadium. The Giants with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
And 10 at the 44-yard line.
They'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That 2nd down completion, something of a disaster, and now they're left with 3rd and long. And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
A very good return that time. 18 yards. Well, let's gaze our attention as the offense takes the field on Rashad Penny. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. This is Penny. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 18 more yards there and another 1st down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Gain of 21 yards.
The end result, 21 yards.
First down.
Plenty of excitement in this stadium and all throughout the league as we kick off another NFL season, and there's no shortage of storylines to keep an eye on across the NFL. But, Charles, what has you most intrigued about this matchup we're about to see?
Well, it's almost embarrassing to admit because it's essentially low-hanging fruit. But I'm as eager as everyone at home to see the return of one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He came back for one playoff game last year, but he admitted that might have been a premature return. Now with an entire offseason, training camp to prepare, he's ready to lead his team again.
And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. Second and goal from the 1. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Rashad Penny, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend.
And the Washington offense just continuing to pour it on.
Able to punch it in on third down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a fourth down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's there got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
9 yards to pick up there, and he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12.
And the pressure gets to him again. Pass rusher extraordinaire, D. Ford that time getting the sack.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run.
Barkley hit and the ball pops free. And it's Washington that scoops it up.
And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air, eluding the pressure right.
Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington.
Terry McLaurin in the final seconds of the first half. And this offense continues to pour it on. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half.
So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend, as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. And it's the Cowboys who are out in front. 2 touchdown passes there for Dak Prescott. From there, we'll skip over to Louisiana to check on the Saints at home in New Orleans. And they currently trail the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Carson Wentz has thrown a couple of touchdown passes there. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. Hunter Renfrow, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Their own 23-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Out of the gun now on third down. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. He's got it at the 15. And he's able to get this down deep on the Giants side of the field. Big yardage that time for Washington, 42 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Foster Moreau there to make the grab. And this Washington offense continuing to add to their lead.
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats, but what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
Good luck.
he's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad. Now the defense loses him. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
And on this challenge, the refs have to take a peek and see whether or not the receiver was able to dot the I with both feet,
while making sure that he possesses the football all the way through the catch. The head coach relied on his eagle eye in the sky to make the right call and was told to challenge it, and it looks like it's paid off.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
and it's Washington that scoops it up.
The 30, the 20, and he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. So this defense clicking early in the year, week one, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
Taking it about the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The New York set to take the field. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
Barkley on first down, going to work his way forward only for about a couple there.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
2nd and 8.
On play action, they'll throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. They'll get this out to Barkley, complete.
And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
10 yards, good for a Giant first down. They'll look to throw here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And does Washington have it? They do.
Reuben Foster. The quarterback is...
He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, oh, there's the bonus for you as a defender.
He was brought down at the
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd.
They'll look to throw. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. They got to get it to the 21 here on third down. Catch made. It's Moreau. Room here to run. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 9-yard line.
It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll try and run for it with Penny. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Rashad Penny with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns.
And Washington able to capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
A little work still to do, though.
Taken about 7 yards deep. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field.
And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into Week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. So these fans just kind of beside themselves right now.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And he comes back with one complete. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
So a change of possession here on the punt.
At their own 32-yard line.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
And this has been quite a performance to kick off the new year on the road, no less, as they try to finish things off here in the 4th quarter.
He'll take this up just shy of the 40. Excellent display of footwork on that run. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
They'll run it again with Penny.
That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
They'll try and run some clock here with Penny. And some room to roam now. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. All told, it's an even 30 and a 1st down.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review.
taken about 7 yards deep. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
New York ready to go again offensively.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. That catch good for only a couple.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Steps away to his left. And some space here. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley. No gain, and it's 2nd down.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
The quarterback taken down and sacked.
Able to fall on it, but look where they recovered it. That's a big loss.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
That's going to back them up almost a full 10 yards. It's going to be a loss of 9 officially, and it's 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. That's complete to Slayton. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
On the run, it's Penny. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
We've called a lot of games, but we don't normally talk about inside linebackers being that fleet of foot, do we?
No, he was able to get outside there to make that play.
Yeah, and you know what makes them faster? Their ability to read plays, understand what offenses are trying to do, and put themselves in proper position.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. And they take a knee. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Mike, check, 59. Watch the curls.
And they'll indeed take a knee. You couldn't ask for a better start to the season than this one. And don't want to put too much stock in it, but a Week 1 win really in the return for a quarterback that they weren't sure would ever get back to what he once was.
And you and I both know there's going to be a lot of debate about whether or not he was looking better today than he has in the past. But what's not up for debate, they won the game. And in the process, I do think he made a lot of people question whether or not he'd be able to come back as a starter. Look just a little bit foolish.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from MetLife Stadium.